So hello traders, I would like to share about how I passed my 100k challenge from my FF, which is my Forex funds, right? And how I get 100k funded. How long did I take and what is the risk I'm taking, what mistake I made throughout this journey, and also what is my trading plan. In fact, this is not my first 100k account, right? Not my first 100k evolution account, but I decided to share it on this one is because I just acquired this very recently, like few days ago. So let us start with the phase one we have looking right here. Okay, and we all know that the phase one is 8% profit target from my FF, and then we have a 5% daily drawdown and a maximum drawdown of 12%. All right, so let's see what is about on my phase one right here. So guys, you can see that profit target is clearly 8,000 right here, and I have made slightly above 8,000, which is 8.7%. I believe is the slippage of the last trade, all right? The slippage on the TP on the last trade. So this is the starting overall balance, which I said is a 100k account. And then we have the last day up 4.38%. I think it's a huge gain here. And the most traded instrument here is US30, obviously, right? If those who watch my stream, they will know US30 is the main pair I trade. And we have an average returns of 621, right? US dollar here. For me, this is not accurate because I did some trade with 0.01 lot just to fulfill the minimum trading days. So this is actually not accurate. And the win rate is also very low. It's only 35.71%. So I believe the risk reward is reasonable to cover uh, the loss here. The win rate, even the win rate is not high. And we do have a sharp ratios of 2.72. All right, this is actually related to risk reward, but I would say this is not accurate as well. It's not because of the system didn't count it accurately. It's because I do use 0.01 lot to actually fulfill some of the minimum trading day. So it is not so accurate. It's not all the trade I taken, right? Some of them is just for the purpose of fulfilling the minimum trading day. So that's about it. We can take a look on the graph here, all right? So we have a very um, smooth, I would say, smooth gain in the start, right? It remains for a few days, and then I was in a drawdown here, right? The most drawdown I had is minus 3.5%, and then it went up again, all right? It's above the deposit, and then it went down again. It's minus 2% around that, and then it was up, right? It was up like 4%, and then the next few days I passed it with plus 8.7%. Let's move on to the trading history here, and we can see the date is very recently. It's just recently. The last trade was at 3rd of October, and then is the account start from, I would say right here we are from 26th of September, which is I would say around 2 weeks ago. And then let's see what, oh, it's not from 26 here, it's actually from 15, right? My mistake is from 15th of September here. I believe that is around 2 to 3 weeks time, all right, when the first trade is taken. So we can see clearly that the first trade was US30. I used a 50 lot here, right? 50 lot sell. It was a 30 pips profit, and then we gained 1.5k US dollars. So, and right here we have a buy on US30 0.01 lot. This is obviously to fulfill the minimum trading day. And today this date itself, right, I did not trade anything, right? I just put 0.01 lot to fulfill the minimum trading day. So, and then we have some gold 10 lot minus 30 US dollar. I believe this is a break-even trade, all right? This is a break-even trade here, all right? And then we have a sell on gold as well, all right? 10 pips, 5 lot. And then we have some loss here. This is exactly my mistake here, right? You guys can see all this gold trade, all right? This is what I want to mention. This is my particular mistake here. We have gold here minus 900 US dollars, gold here minus 1.4k US dollars, gold here minus 1.8k US dollar, 1.3 US dollar. So the thing is, I'm testing out a strategy on gold, but that day I just decided to put it on my real challenge. At first I was risking a little bit here, only a little bit, like 5 lot, so this is around 1%. And then the second day when I decided to continue trade gold, all right, this get something, to be honest, very some kind of emotional. And then I skew my trade, right? I try to skew my trade. So this lose itself is around 4% here, right? 4% to 4.5%. It's very, very close to the daily drawdown. So this is the time that I become emotional and not disciplined in my trading day. So this is the particular mistake I made, right? When I made this mistake, right, and then I reflected on it, so I decided not to trade gold anymore on on a real challenge. Instead, I'm gonna do it on a trial to test out the strategy before I'm moving into real challenge. So you can see that this is definitely over risking and also not being disciplined and not sticking into my trading plan. So this is the mistake I want to say about. And the other day, all right, I move on to US30 and you can see that I'm using 100 lots here, all right? But you see that I'm using 100 lots and some people might be shocked about 100 lots. So 100 lots is actually 10 lots in gold, all right? The contract size is smaller in my FF, so we can see that, all right, this is actually, all right, 100 lots is 5k US dollar is actually 50 pips here. So the risk I'm taking here is 2 to 3% per day. And you see, I only have one trade a day here. All right. One trade a day. So this is from 28th September and the next trade is actually 29th September. So I only have one trade a day and I risk 2 to 3%. And in the week itself, it's not every day that I'm going to trade. So maybe 2 to 3 trade per week for this particular account, right? So some people might say over risk, but I would say I did over risk a bit and I'm being more aggressive on the evolution phase, right? Because there's time limit and there is also the profit target to achieve. So I will be more conservative actually in the funded account. So right now, right, this is where I trying to recover here. You can see, all right, it went to up here, all right, on 28th of September, right, the original deposit is went up by 1.6% gain, and then the next day, all right, I have a loss here, right, I had a loss on 29th of September. This is actually not a loss, this is actually a break-even trade because we can clearly see that it's only minus 3 pips, which is 300 US dollar is a minus 3 pips here. So this is the break-even trade, and then immediately I traded this one here is all right, this is the actual loss on the day. All right, this is a minus 30 pips trade with 100 lot on a US30 buy. So this is definitely a losing trade, minus 30 pips, and you can say that this day itself I called it a day directly. Sorry, when I had a loss, I should immediately call it a day because I already reached the maximum that I can lose, right? So minus 3%, I cannot afford to risk another minus 3%. So I will definitely stop on the day itself because one trade normally for me, I would take like 20 to 30 pips stop loss. In this case here, I don't have the room for myself to actually take another trade. So that's why I'm being more aggressive also is because I want that I don't when I have a losing trade, I don't have much room to make another mistake. So if I have a lot of room to make mistake, what happened is I might be over trading. You get what I mean, guys? So if I have imagine like if I risk lesser and then I have more chance to actually risk more, what happened is I might actually over trading, which I don't want it to happen. That's why I risk something more aggressively. But in terms of the trade, it's more quality and it's more cautious because I can only take one trade to two trade per day. All right. So if I have a losing trade, that's about it for the day. So I need to be extra cautious when I risk aggressively. That's the whole point of the approach on this particular account and the trading plan for me as well. So the next day we can see that the first trade on 30 of September, all right, the first trade is actually a break-even trade. All right, we have a minus 2 pips here. All right, even though when we have break-even trades, then I can manage to take the second trade because first trade was break-even, so we don't lose and we don't gain anything. This was just a minor difference, right? 0.2% here. So the next trade, we see that I actually made a quite huge profit compared to all the losses here. It was a 60 pips here, right? 60 pips, 100 lot, which is a 6.2k, right? And here we look at the chart, so we can see that we have already some gain later on, right? It's up to 4%, right? We have 4% gain, right, in total, right? When on the day itself, the profit target is up 4%, right? We recover all the loss and actually make 4% gain. So the last day here was actually 3rd of October, all right? I believe after 30 of October is the weekend here. So we had this last trade on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, right? 3rd of October. So 100 lot at the gain, right? One single trade is 4.5% gain. And then we have this, right? This challenge account pass. So basically we cover all about the phase one here. I talk about the mistake I made, all right, and I definitely risk too much on this particular day, right? We can see some almost minus 4.5% lose, right? I became more emotion because when I started to skill trade, all right, and it's end up a losing trade, and it's on a pair that uh, I'm not so mastered in. So that's why I stopped trading gold on real challenge account and I decided to do it on trial and I'm more focused on USD. You can see any other days here, right? So the whole time for me to actually uh, pass this challenge, I would say is around 3 weeks time, right? Two Around 2 to 3 weeks, right? Around there. So right here, we are looking at phase two very clearly. And I would say phase two here, I don't have much to share because I just passed this with one single trade. All right. And then we can see clearly phase two here, profit target is 5K, 5%. And then the starting overall balance is the same, 100K. And then we made a 5.1% gain. All right. This average return is not important because we do use like 0.01 lot to pass this account. Win rate is 83.33%. It's not important as well. The Sharpe ratio is not accurate as well because I use 0.01 lot to actually uh, fulfill the minimum trading days. So many people, when I shared about the this whole process here, all right, the trade there, all right, and I received a lot of comments that saying I'm over risking, right? Correct, I did over risk a bit, and I did over risk, and I would say I'm very aggressive on this particular evolutions account. So I plan to be aggressive on this, right? So the reason for me to be aggressive on this particular evolution account is, right, I don't want me to have more room for mistake, right? So one trade a day, two trade a day. If I have a losing trade, I'm gonna call it a day, right? That's my approach for this. If imagine if I raise 0.5% to 1%, then I have more room to actually, you know, risk on that day itself. I know that people can say that you can stop on the day, but when emotion kicks in and then you still have room for mistakes, you will actually tend to overtrade sometimes. Because I would not say that I'm 100% disciplined robot here, right? I cannot treat like a robot. So sometimes humans, as a human, we do have some emotions. So how we gonna manage the emotion? It also need to be helped by the trading plan itself, right? And also being disciplined is one point. So that's why this particular account I do have a more aggressive approach on it, and then I also um, we are risking slightly more, I would say 2 to 3% a day, and only 1 to 2 trade a day, and we are not trading every day, obviously. Okay, so let's move on to the trading history here. This would be very, very quick and short because pretty much I just passed it with one trade, and you can see this is October 3rd of October, right? So at the same time, same day I passed the phase one, all right. The same day I the kickstart the phase two, all right, with 0.01 lot here, all right. Why you choose to kickstart it? Because first thing is to fulfill the minimum trading days, as I say. So if I pass my account, I don't have to wait too long to get my funded. All right. So the second day here is the key here. All right. We can see 4th of October we have a US 30 sell 100 lot, which is a 5k profit, a 50 pips profit. So just with one stone, right, we hit this profit target just in one day. And the risk here is obviously, I would say 20 to 30 pips risk on this trade, which is 2 to 3%. And this trade is this trade is took on live, right? Took on live stream, and we do live stream every day on NYSE. This trade we took on live stream exactly. All right. So the other day itself is actually just some 0.01 lot to fulfill the minimum trading days here. All right. All these trades is for me to fulfill the minimum trading days. Then I basically, when I did that, I already passed my challenge account. All right. So that's about it for phase two. We come to our funded phase, and I just got this account few days ago, right? This funded account. I will just share about some of my approach on this funded account. So first thing, definitely I'm gonna be more conservative on funded account, all right, instead of being aggressive. All right, the maximum risk I'm gonna take, I would say, is 1.5% per day, and I would say just 1 to 2 trade a day. That's about it. All right. So 1.5% risk per day only. Right. Some people risk maybe smaller, but 1.5% for me is fine, and I only take one trade a day, all right, for this particular account. If I have a losing trade, then I'm gonna stop, right? But if I have a break-even trade, I might continue. If I have a winning trade, I will stop as well. So this is what I mean by one trade a day, But if it's a break-even trade, I wouldn't count. So if you're losing trade or winning trade, I'm just gonna stop on the day itself. So the risk reward I'm looking for in my trade is around 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. Sometime in a good day we can get 1 to 4, right? Only in some good days. So right here, I did not trade anything yet on this particular funded account, right? Because I just got it, I would say a few days ago, last Friday. And we can see I have already kickstarted with a 0.01 lot here, right? Why I kickstart my funded as soon as I get it? Because we need a 30 days count, right? We need a 30 days count for me to actually get the profit split, right? So my approach is, right, once I get 2 to 3% profit, of 3 to 5% profit, then I'm gonna call it a month. That's about it. All right. Why I say so is um the most important thing is to get back the refund, right? And then also we have the phase one bonus and phase two bonus. So my approach is the minimal gain I can get as long as I have this account to get back my refund. And when you get back your refund free, the refund of the registration fee, basically you are in risk free of this account. All right, you get me because you get back what you invest, which is the registration fee, and then you got this 100K account to actually roll with, and you can have profit split. And remember, the first month profit split for MyFF is 75%, and the next month goes on to 80%, and go on and on. So my approach is minimal gain and um, minimum gain, and also just gonna call it a month when we achieve my target. I would say 3 to 5%, somewhere around there. Then I'm gonna call it a month. So move on. I will show you another account I had on my FF, also 100K account, and also funded, right? So right now, we have this another account here, also the funded light account you can see here, all right, which I already stopped trading for it. We have a 3.7% gain, and we don't have any profit target here. And the same thing here, overall balance is 100K, and then average return is not accurate. And then this is not accurate as well because I trade 0.01 lot, and win rate is 80%. It's not accurate here. And let's see the trading history for this particular account, right? So 3.7% here, I'm just gonna call it a day, right? One thing is because I used to have a very huge mistake, and I talk about it on stream, right? I used to aim for big profit on my funded account, but end up um I made a huge mistake. All right, it's the biggest lesson I had. All right, in my funding journey. So I'm gonna make another video to share about it if you guys interested. I think some of you guys, some of my viewers, gonna know what I'm talking about. And right now, just take a quick look on the trading history, right? So the first day we have 150 lot, right? We have 50 lot here on a buy, and then it closed at I would say around 10 pips. I believe this is a break-even trade, right? It came back to my break-even spot, and I closed it around my entry. So the next day, oh, I was not being disciplined already. All right, I put 100 lot, which I shouldn't, because I said I definitely need to risk lesser on a funded account. So that day, I think I did not manage to change the lot size I used on Evolution's account, and I did it 100 lot, and that day itself, I think I have um, bigger confidence on the market itself, the market movement, right? We don't have like crazy news happening, right? The momentum is clear, the price action is clear for me. That's why I'm comfortable to take 100 lot here. So at the day itself, is 30 pips, right? 30 pips, 34 pips gain, and then it's on the funded account. So right away when I made this gain here, all right, I already say that I'm gonna stop trading. All right, gonna stop trading for this particular account. Um, as I mentioned, the refund is important. The phase one bonus, just to get the refund from this particular account first, and then to move on to the next one, we can have a higher profit split as well. So the first month, right, I will not suggest any traders to look for a big gains. All right, just go as minimal as possible to get back your refund. So once you get back your refund, you are basically risk free with this account. Risk free is like you get back what you invest, right? So it's basically risk free, and plus you have a 100K account on hand. So that's my approach because I used to aim for very big profit target, and it did not end well for me. So I would suggest others not to do the same as well, but it depends on different people, right? I still believe that some of traders can actually hit a high profit target, right? I still believe that some people can actually do it, but just personally, my approach, I'm gonna aim for minimal gain, right? Consistent minimal gain every month for one account. And when I reach the profit target, I'm just gonna stop until the payout day, and also try to scale the account as well as trying to get a higher profit rate. So all the other day here you can see is just 0.01 lot here, right? So I would definitely not gonna trade this account. I'm gonna focus on the funded account that I just get recently. Let's see what we're gonna get, right? But I'm gonna take all the trades on the live stream, right? So lastly, that's about it for the sharing here. And then I hope if you like about these videos, just hit the like button. And if you have any questions, just feel free to comment in the chat and also subscribe to the channel here. Right? Thank you guys for watching. That's about it. And